This is the day this is the day after we came back from our hot spring trip. Today is another day with business as usual. Ooh. Wait, Coconut? What are you doing? Oh, are you putting up the posters? Christmas, nice. I don't know, what did she tell you? Oh no, you're fine, thank you for doing it. Azuki just so happened to be there when I remembered that I was supposed to put up those posters, so I ended up asking her to do it without much thought. But in retrospect, that would be a tough job for Azuki. After all, it wouldn't help us any to have posters below eye level. Good, I guess. You do have a hide on your side. I appreciate it, Coconut. Aren't you uncomfortable working out here in the cold? I'll make you some hot cocoa when you're done. I look toward the poster that Coconut is in the middle of hanging up. Neighborhood Association Christmas event, huh? A talk show? One's from afternoon to evening, huh? It's unfortunate, but we won't be able to make it. This is the first Christmas since La Soleil opened, so you probably don't know, but cake shops are a war zone during Christmas. Christmas is the day where cakes sell the most in Japan. Strictly speaking, the night of the 24th, Christmas Eve. A patisserie I keep messing this up. A patisserie like ours is no exception. We're going to be busy with all the delivery orders too. You better be ready. This is our first time, so I don't know exactly how many customers we'll have coming, but I've even heard that depending on the shop, you can end up selling out half of a year's worth of stock on Christmas alone. That's how busy it gets. A lot of houses will be throwing Christmas parties with a cake as a centerpiece to their tables. Betcha buddy. I think that was Nekopara Extra or Volume, so it was Extra, I'm pretty sure. Ah. You bet, yeah, this is Extra because this is Coconut right here. Look at it, look at small Coconut. Trying. Yeah, back at the Manuki house. This is on Nekopara Extra, which is the first one out of my playlist. Glad to hear it. This year I don't think we'll be able to indulge though. Aw, you're making her sad, bro. Cheer up, why don't we all have some Christmas cake after we close up shop? Wait, so is it Christmas? But I'm having doubts that will be enough for you, Coconut. Maybe I'll prep a turkey too. Nah. Flashback again? Oh yeah. At the party we had before, do you remember that big roasted bird that was there? That's a turkey. Did you like it? Oh, she liked it. In the United States and Great Britain, it's customary for them to eat turkey for Christmas like that. Hello? I don't know if it's just my Hispanic culture here, but I don't think that's true. Also, I think that's more of a November Thanksgiving thing. In France, a lot of families eat boudin blanc, a kind of white sausage instead. Once they're back home from evening mass, they eat some warm boudin blanc with sautéed apples. Then comes soup for the main dish, steak with a hearty serving of potatoes. You start eating during the evening, and by the time dessert rolls around, it's already the 25th. Yep, it depends on the culture. We can. Ah, why you gotta mention them? Why you gotta mention them? I thought this was gonna be like us sort of thing here, Coconut. Why you gotta mention them? Speaking of which, my parents were out the last time we had a Christmas party, weren't they? Not sure myself. I don't remember him ever saying that he was against them, though. After all, he does have a soft spot for Shigure. Oh, so we're gonna invite them? I know it's Christmas, and that's the spirit of things, but you know what happened last time. By the way, is there anything specific you want, Coconut? Sure. Yeah, or I was gonna make sure to tell Santa-san to bring it to you. Why you gotta say why you gotta be Santa to this? Ah. Oh, I see. Well, I guess you know about Santa then? Wait, shoot, I keep forgetting she's like the third youngest compared to everyone else. Right. Ah! The ploy. Huh? By letter, do you mean a letter to Santa? Yeah, that's okay. Right, yeah, great job cooking it. Yes? I guess? Of course, why? You always help me out with a shop like this after all. Okay. Didn't any of the other cat girls write a letter? Everyone? What? I see everyone, huh? Azuki and the others who have already caught up wind of the truth are probably helping keep the tradition this year too, I guess. Coconut pace a poster to the window pane and looks at it. Huh? Oh, yeah. That's when Azuki comes out from the shop. Were you listening, Azuki? Yeah, maybe. I recall what happened on my mom's birthday. That's true, he did admit to you when you ran away. He did admit to you, he literally ran away. Wait, what happened? But when something is delicious, he says so. Wait. What's different here? I'm confused. Is she talking about the defeat or the taste? That's not really a question I can answer. I don't understand what my father's thinking, but I do know that running away forever isn't going to solve my problems. Even now, every time I remember what happened that night, the thoughts start brewing in my head. But unless I can get my dad to recognize my own flavor, I'll be stuck with this nagging sensation in my heart forever. I'm also making the cat girls worry more than they should over me. Christmas will be busy, but it's not like we'll be open too late or anything. I don't see the harm in delivering a cake to the Azuki house after store hours. There's still a few days until Christmas. This time I'll make the best cake I can possibly make. What are you doing here? I'm pretty sure I just said that all to myself, or in the to the clouds, or in my brain. What are you doing here? Hey, that's so? How so? Thank you, I'll do my best to make an even better cake than last time. Please leave everything aside from the cake. What? Right, okay, you can handle cooking this time around. I'll focus on the cake. Okay. I see, so you were looking forward to another one this year, huh? Gotcha, thanks, Shigure. Of course she would be happy. Yeah, we don't know, dude. We don't know the life. Hot spring joys. Afternoon. Tea time comes to a close and the amount of customers dwindles down to a handful. I let the catgirls handle the shop as I coop myself up in the kitchen. I taste test the cake I've made. I think it's delicious. In terms of a cake I would serve to customers, there's absolutely no problem with it, but there's still something missing. What do you want, Maple? Why do you gotta yell at me? Are you yelling at me? Why? Pipes. You've been calling for me? Lies. Sorry, Maple. I wasn't paying attention. Maybe. Was that really the expression on my face? Yeah? I'm not going to refute that I wasn't in that state of mind. I pat my own face down. You got closer than you. Oh, what you gonna do? Maple uses her fingertip to stroke around my mouth. Her fingers are smooth and elegant, yet still supple at the same time. Maple licks the whipped cream she wiped off. I don't think you can really get a taste for it like that. Why don't you just give it a proper taste test and tell me what you think? Here it is. Very Xmas. Decadent. In a good way? Decadent? What does she mean by decadent? I don't know. This is like a basic cake. What? People takes a tiny scoop of the fork and brings it to her mouth. Ooh, hello. Is it? Reasons, Maple, you know why. But it's plain, isn't it? Time to have a serious conversation. It's, I don't know, plain. That's how it feels to me. Leaves a noticeable impression and has traits that only your cakes have? Okay. That only my cakes have? But does Kashou have like his own? Where's Maple the one? Yeah, that sentiment hasn't changed, but there's still something I'm hung up on. Dad said that my cooking lacked a core. He said that the phrase bringing smiles to people's faces was something I ran behind. My dad always speaks with a purpose, especially when it comes to cuisine. I'm running behind them. My cooking lacks a core. What does that mean? Try making sweets without that idea in mind? Huh? Good point. Now that she spells it out like that, I realize that I never baked with that idea in mind, or just making a cake for yourself. Not baking for everyone, just baking for myself, huh? Well, yeah, why have you not tried that? I feel like that's one of the main things. So, wait. In that line of thinking, he's been making cakes that everyone would like, but he's not made a cake that he himself would enjoy. That's what that is telling me. Alright, now that I finished. Well, you were here last time, so you tell me. I like you to compare it to the last one. Yeah, exactly. But my weight. We talked about this before, Maple. You're fine. We don't care about that. Also, you're just taste testing. You're not eating the whole thing. I feel like you have a. Also, you eat normally, right? You eat. You exercise, right? I would hope so. Of course. I see.
カショウのお父様に食べてもらうなら、さっきのケーキの方が合うんじゃないかしら。
Yeah, probably.
洋菓子を食べ慣れていて、濃い味が好きならいいと思うわ。
But I'm afraid I'm not sure how it'd fare as a Christmas cake for the whole family. My preferences aren't anything really all that special. I know I say it's for everyone, but I guess it's not like it's too far off from my preferences. I've honed my senses so that I can make out if something tastes good after all.
カショウの好みで作ってもそう変わらないってことね。
I would hope so. That would make you. I would hope so, because that would make you a better chef, right? If you don't really care what your preferences are when you're cooking, than somebody who hasn't baked. Chocola, come down. We're not a part of this.
たまたま通りかかったから味見してただけよ。ショコラも食べてみれば?
Yeah, you give them a try too, Chocola. Both the one I made earlier and the one I made just now. Yeah, because she's gonna be more expressive about it. Well, Maple's giving us like the sophisticated answer to our dilemma. Vanilla? Sure. Hey, Vanilla, how's the shop doing? Isn't that a big problem in itself? Yeah, I want to shoot. I feel like you just lied to me, Vanilla, but okay. Who's minding the shop? Like field mice. I feel like both of them are gonna show up right now. Right. Well, it should be break time anyway, so I guess it's fine. Gotta get you guys to taste test for me then. Wait, did I read? Chocolates. Okay, my pleasure. Chocola, you just said you liked the first one. Thanks. There's not that big of a difference between them. Maybe I should have stuck with the complicated, sophisticated catgirl that actually has more of an explanation compared to these three. Too plain. Did she just chug it down, bro? Well, I am the chef, Vanilla. That isn't too plain instead. Huh? How? If you insist, I guess I'll give it a shot. Chocolate is a really big fan of sweet things, and she's eaten several of my cakes. It's possible that she might have made some sort of discovery. I'll follow Chocolate's orders and try making a cake from them. I sandwiched a chocolate mouse with a chocolate sponge cake, frosted with chocolate cream, and decorated with chocolate. Pretty sure chocolate should be safe to eat for catgirls, right? This chocolate cake has enough, well, chocolate to warrant those concerns. I'll have to say, if they're gonna give me ideas here, and we're gonna start off with Chocola giving me chocolate, then I'm gonna feel like we're gonna have a little royale thing where it's chocolate, vanilla, cinnamon, and maple, all their flavors that they are named after. Morning Star? Skirt in line. We have vanilla. Wait, did we make this, or is this still just in her mind? So well, I think the taste should just be fine. Maple, why are you worried about your weight, girl? Like, I'm so like annoyed with that for me right now. Why are you worried about your weight? Interesting way to put it, vanilla. I'm pretty sure Cinnamon's gonna have fun with that. Try not to overthink things and give me a taste test, okay? Well, I hope so. It's literally chocolate stacked upon chocolate, stacked upon chocolate. Maple. Rad. Okay, vanilla. I didn't need you to date yourself like that. Why you gotta use rad all of a sudden? I want a chocolate cake now. When I think about this. I feel like, did Jack in the Box have I want some of that. Oh yeah, it exudes chocolateness in more ways than one. That's the typo. Yeah, I want to try it. I would want to try this right now. I wouldn't say I'm a chocolate lover. I like vanilla more as a flavor, but or a mixed bag. I don't really like cake, so I don't know what that says about me. It's a bit on the extreme side, but it was a bold idea that I'll take for future reference. Thank you. What? I knew I was gonna be the one doing this. A Snow White rare cheesecake with a small vanilla extract drizzled with melted chalk. Oh, see, I would die for this right now. Ow. Does that name have anything to do with the cake? Chocola is cute. It does look like tofu, but I would like to take a bite of this one. Oh, I was hoping for a change after all. That's a French and novel appearance at the very least. I like how you added the hearts as well, because he knew Vanilla's gonna like that. Well, it's just vanilla drenched with chocolate on top, right? So that's pretty good in itself. Pretty plain. Well, it's not for everyone. The chocolate is good. Bitter. You're right, it does taste more bitter than I expected. Well, that's your taste, vanilla. Or to get rid of the bitterness. We're just making more things up for the menu, aren't we? Nice of you. Honestly, it's hard to call this a cake that brings smiles to everyone's faces, but seeing Vanilla, who's not very expressive with faint hints of joy on her face, has left quite an impression on me. Also, it's gonna be a combined effort from you, both of you. Drizzled in maple syrup. See, like, yeah, this could all be used as a complete, like, combination thing going on here. I'm making the cake that Maple and Cinnamon come up with as well, which is It's a black tea chiffon cake. I don't know, I feel like Cinnamon would loot over this somehow. Yeah, she just said she likes plain vanilla. But the taste is pretty creative, I say. Why aren't I just wasting their time and wasting my time doing whatever? With the robust flavor? Well, we're hoping it would taste like coffee-ish, right? I'm not sure about the middle part, but I feel like it would taste coffee-ish out of this one. The butter flavor. Interesting. Good compliments there. This is more of Maple's cake instead of Cinnamon's. He's unsure about it? Yeah, selling it here probably a bad idea. Maybe you're right, but I think this cake suits your personality, Maple. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, I meant what I said. Oh, so you're forcing her. I thought it was a combination. What is this? This would take time, dude. This would take time, and it was not easy, let me tell you. Wait, the flowers, the pistols. I know where this is heading. I knew it, right? I fucking knew it. I knew it. Oh, I knew it. Oh, is that? So those are the stamina and pistol. I agree. Reference to Nekopara Volume 1, I think, right? When they were trying to train... When they were trying to train Vanilla and Chocola for their bells. I agree. Here's a cinnamon idea. Don't explain that. Don't explain that. Don't explain that. Please don't explain that, Cinnamon. What did I just say, Cinnamon? I wonder what the other two that are working the shop right now would have. I'm surprised you would say that, Chocola, but alright. Considering the cake? What does that mean? There's really no reason for her to explain that. Well, we're putting Cinnamon's intent behind this aside. From a mental standpoint, being particular about the shape of what you're making is an important quality. Flavor tends to change based on your feelings, you know. Yeah, I doubt it. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't skip that. Okay. No, I think a more flexible idea like this was just the thing I needed. I can purely get pretty hard-headed. What? That's not what I meant by that. Anyways, I'll give things some more thought. I love how it was just like headbutt time. I love that. Yeah, because you have the more sophisticated attitude and more explain worthy.
いつまで興奮してるのおしなもん。仕事に戻るわよ。待って、めいちゃん。ご主人様、ごちそうさまでした。ショコラ、仕事に戻ります。
Alright.
ごちそうさま。
I'm gonna have Azuki and Coconut show up now? Or alone with my thoughts, which is such a bad idea. I give them a nod and watch the girls all leave the kitchen. Look over all the test cakes. The cakes, which I felt all had their own sense of personality up until a second ago, all seem to have lost their luster. What's going on? It's a strange feeling. The cakes... excuse me. The cakes losing their charm isn't a positive thing. However, I continue to stare at them in a positive way, as if there's something important in the test cakes. Well, they represent your girlfriends there, buddy. I would hope there's something special there still. Well, 4 of your girlfriends, you're missing 2. Break time 3 days later. Why is there no music? What happened?
うにゃー。今日もご主人様はキッチンから出てこない。
He hasn't come out of the kitchen?
いつ寝ているのか。なんか。
Oh no. Does that mean we're neglecting them?
ご主人様、いっぱい悩んでるのに。ショコラはいっぱい手伝ってる。すっかり仕事に慣れて、今はいっぱい働いてる。
What are you telling her?
頼まれた下準備をしたり、洗い物をしたり、もちろんお客さんも案内したり。
Okay, so yeah, he's currently neglecting at the moment.
いっぱい頑張ってるよ。
Just ask for it, Chocola. Just ask for it, man.
でも、どうすればご主人様のケーキがもっと美味しくなるかなんて。
That's the question here.
ご主人様のために何かしたい。
Aww.
何かしたい。何かしたい。何かしたい。何かしたい。何かしたい。何かしたい。落ち着いて、ショコラ。落ち着いたら何かできる？
Maybe. The break room door opens.
こら！大声を出すな！店まで聞こえちまうぞ。
You're here in the shop, but why? How? Also, why is Coconut sad here? Azuki and Coconut come into the break room. However, Coconut looks a little odd.
ココちゃん、何かあった？
Yeah, like why is she sad?
鬼？だったの？
Like, unlike Chocola, Chocola's like the only one that expresses her true emotions to everybody and doesn't care about how she doesn't feel embarrassed about it.
ナッツのアホがサボってやがったんだ。
Has been playing hooky?
本当？
What?
おかしい。
Hooky?
ココちゃん、いつも出前に行ってるし、お店にいるときはお掃除とか洗い物とか。
Hooky?
いつも働いてる。
What?
出前の時にとか？それはないと思う。行き先を考えるといつも最速に近い。
I'm still confused what you mean by hookies.
だよね。いつも頑張ってるよね。間違いない。
Like how they're analyzing this.
そうだよ。いつも頑張ってんだよ。
Okay, is there gonna be a fallout of them right now?
ふにゃ？ああ、なるほど。理解。
But Kashou has been neglecting because he's worried about this, right? Right? That's what's going on?
おかしいだろ？全員同じだけ休憩を取るようにシフトを組んでるのに。
Playing hookies? What does that mean?
確かにサボってたね。
Hooky? What does this mean, dude?
ナッツのやつ、休憩したふりして働いてたんだ。
Oh, okay. And that what's that mean? Pretending to take breaks while working instead? She was working on her breaks?
言われてみると、休憩室でココナッツを見たことがない。あ、そういえば。 休憩するのも仕事のうちだぞ。無理して働いて体調を崩したらどうすんだ。ごめんなさい。組んだシフトで店が回るかどうかも私が把握しないといけねえんだ。お前が無理して回してていざって時になかったら店はどうなるんだ。代わりを入れて回るはずのシフトで実は店が回らないって事態になっちまうんだぞ。店のため歌唱のため頑張りたいって気持ちはわかるけどよ。僕のせいだから。
Wait, how's it your fault? Wait, what happened?
何？
What's your fault?
僕がクリスマスパーティーをまたやりたいなんて言ったから。そいつはきっかけだろ。いつかは向き合わなきゃいけなかったんだ。
That was the trigger. So was Shigure. Shigure was the main trigger, not you. But yeah.
歌唱がこの道を進むのなら避けては通れねえだろ。大丈夫だよ、ココちゃん。ショコラ、ご主人様はきっと美味しいケーキを作ってくれるよ。だってご主人様だもん。ご主人様のお父様にいつかうまいって言わせてみせるってそう言ってたから大丈夫だよ。ショコラ、信じてる。
I would hope so. I hope you guys would support your mans. I would hope you guys would have faith in him too. Like.
もちろんやっぱりご主人様のために何かしたいんだよ。でも無理したらかえって迷惑かけちゃうかもよ。
Well, yeah, you know that, Chocola, because you've been here with them. Unlike Coconut.
そうだよね。ごめんなさい。
I see, now she's thinking about it more logically.
えらいえらい。ふにゃ？なに？バニラ。ふん。ショコバニのくせに一丁前なこと言いやがって。
That's a good question. I'm confused too, but at the same time, I feel like they have more experience in any of you.
まあ、言いたいことは言われちまったから、お説教はもういいや。ナッツ、出前に行って冷えただろ？あったかい紅茶でも飲むか？ありがとうお姉ちゃん。飲むなら自分で用意しろよ。入れてくれる流れじゃなかった？ショコラが入れてあげるね。
Mm.
ありがとう、ショコラ。
Of course it wasn't. Azuki?
二人の仲まで気遣った？何のことだ？それにしても歌唱はキッチンから出てこねえな。ちゃんとケーキは作ってるから店は問題ねえけど、あいつこそ休憩を取らねえといけねえんじゃねえか。おめえらのシフトは私が組んでるけど歌唱は言うことを聞かねえからな。何かできないかな。
Wait, so. Kashou is the only chef, so I don't know why he would be taking breaks anytime soon. Actually, he needs breaks, but like, why would he have a different shift? Chocola, this is black tea, is too rich. Cough, cough. Meow.